40,000 years ago, the world was on the edge of transformation. America was wild and untamed, a land filled with strange creatures, harsh climates, and deadly predators. Modern humans were just beginning to move into Europe, while Neanderthals struggled to survive. But hidden deep in North America, scientists believe something astonishing and terrifying was happening. Fossil evidence suggests that small populations of ancient dinosaur-like predators may have survived far longer than we thought, living alongside early humans and competing for the same resources. Could this have been one of the unseen factors that pushed Neanderthals toward extinction? In this video, we're diving into the untold story of when dinosaurs may have roamed parts of America just 40,000 years ago, how they shaped the survival of early humans, and why their disappearance changed the course of our history forever. Imagine standing in North America 40,000 years ago. The world looked completely different from today. Towering glaciers stretched across the north, vast forests covered the east, and deserts dominated the west. It was an age of survival, where mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and giant ground sloths roamed freely. Modern humans were expanding into Europe, while Neanderthals struggled to adapt to a changing climate and fierce competition for food. But here's where it gets fascinating. There's growing evidence that some prehistoric reptiles, believed to have gone extinct millions of years earlier, may have survived in isolated ecosystems across parts of America. Scientists have uncovered mysterious fossils and unusual tracks that don't quite fit the expected timeline. If true, this means that our distant ancestors may have shared the land with creatures that looked and hunted like dinosaurs. And if these ancient predators were still around, they would have influenced everything: where humans settled, how they hunted, and even which species survived. The battle for survival wasn't just between humans and Neanderthals. There may have been something far older stalking the shadows. By 40,000 years ago, Neanderthals were already on the brink. Once spread across Europe and parts of Asia, their numbers were shrinking fast. Climate instability made food scarce, and the arrival of modern humans added new competition they couldn't match. Homo sapiens were faster, better at organizing in groups, and capable of adapting to different environments more effectively. But for Neanderthals, every day was a fight for survival. Fossil evidence shows they hunted large mammals like reindeer and bison, but their dependence on these shrinking populations left them vulnerable. At the same time, new threats were emerging in unexpected ways. Strange fossil remains from North America suggest that powerful reptilian predators might have been competing with humans for territory and prey, forcing early groups to relocate constantly. For Neanderthals, this would have been devastating. Unlike modern humans, they had smaller, more scattered populations and fewer technological advancements to defend themselves. They were caught between two forces: rising human competition on one side and ancient predators on the other. As the world around them changed, Neanderthals were slowly being pushed out of their habitats, and their survival hung by a thread. For decades, scientists believe dinosaurs vanished 65 million years ago, wiped out by an asteroid impact. But recent discoveries challenge that timeline. In certain isolated regions of North America, researchers have uncovered puzzling fossil records and strange footprints, suggesting that small populations of dinosaur-like reptiles may have survived much longer than previously thought. Some scientists refer to these as relict populations, meaning ancient species that managed to persist in isolated habitats, hidden from widespread extinction. These creatures wouldn't have been giant sauropods or massive T-Rexes, but smaller, agile predators that could have adapted to Ice Age conditions. Imagine living 40,000 years ago, navigating vast forests and wetlands, only to encounter reptilian hunters that had evolved alongside mammals for millions of years. These ancient predators would have been perfectly built for survival, fast and relentless, making them formidable rivals for early humans and Neanderthals, competing for food and territory. If these species truly survived, they may have shaped migration patterns, determined where humans settled, and influenced hunting strategies. The deeper scientists dig, the more it becomes clear. History isn't always as straightforward as we were taught. Picture early humans venturing into unfamiliar territories filled with dangers they didn't yet understand. Beyond the freezing winds, saber-toothed cats, and mammoths, there may have been something far stranger predators that resembled creatures from a prehistoric past. Fossil evidence suggests that certain wetlands and lowland areas of North America were home to reptiles unlike anything modern humans had encountered. These ancient hunters were fast, agile, and perfectly adapted to stalking prey, making them a serious threat to both humans and Neanderthals. Survival wasn't just about building fires or crafting tools. It was about learning to avoid becoming part of the food chain. While Homo sapiens had an advantage in communication and strategy, Neanderthals lacked the same flexibility, which may have left them vulnerable in regions where these predators thrived. Some researchers believe this constant threat influenced migration routes, forcing human groups to avoid areas where predator populations were strongest. If dinosaurs, or dinosaur-like reptiles, still roamed these lands, they didn't just shape ecosystems, they directly affected who survived and who didn't. Every step into new territory carried unknown risks, and for many, one mistake meant extinction. When Neanderthals disappeared around 40,000 years ago, the world lost more than just a species. It lost an entire way of life. They were skilled hunters, tool makers, and survivors. Yet they couldn't withstand the combined pressures of a rapidly changing environment, competition from modern humans, and possibly encounters with ancient predators. The cost of their extinction wasn't just ecological, but evolutionary. Humans inherited a world shaped by the disappearance of Neanderthals, gaining access to territories and resources they once controlled. But if ancient dinosaur-like species still existed in parts of America, their presence would have increased this pressure even further. Neanderthals, less adaptable than Homo sapiens, would have struggled to compete on multiple fronts. Imagine competing with humans for food, while also fending off predators that had survived since the age of dinosaurs. Every decision mattered: where to settle, where to hunt, and where to avoid. Their extinction reshaped human history, setting the stage for our species' dominance. But it came at a cost. Entire populations of ancient humans were lost forever, leaving us with unanswered questions about how different the world might have been if they'd survived. Archaeological sites across North America have revealed fascinating clues that fuel the debate about late surviving prehistoric reptiles. In certain regions, researchers have found unusual bone beds, fossilized remains, and trackways that don't match known Ice Age species. Some footprints are oddly reptilian, hinting at creatures far older than the megafauna of the era. While most scientists remain cautious, these discoveries raise intriguing questions. Could isolated habitats have sheltered ancient species that evolved independently, surviving unnoticed for millions of years? Wetlands, deep forests, and canyon systems could have provided the perfect refuge for these animals, protecting them from the catastrophic events that wiped out most dinosaurs. If so, early humans entering these areas may have encountered creatures unlike anything they'd ever seen before. These findings don't rewrite history entirely, but add depth to it, reminding us how complex evolution can be. As scientists continue exploring fossil-rich regions, they uncover more evidence suggesting that the story of life on Earth and the survival of its ancient predators may be far more intricate than we imagined. Sometimes, the land keeps its greatest secrets buried for thousands of years. Around 40,000 years ago, Earth's climate was in turmoil. The Ice Age was at its peak. Glaciers carved deep scars across continents, and temperatures shifted unpredictably. Expanding ice sheets forced humans, Neanderthals, and countless animal species into smaller, confined regions, creating intense competition for resources. Food shortages led to conflict not only between human groups, but also with other predators fighting to survive. If isolated dinosaur-like reptiles still existed during this period, these fragmented ecosystems would have been perfect for them. While mammals struggled to adapt to colder, harsher climates, reptiles thriving in warmer pockets of wetlands could have maintained small, stable populations. But this also meant increased clashes with humans seeking fresh hunting grounds and water sources. Every migration decision carried higher stakes. One wrong move could lead straight into predator territory, forcing groups to relocate again and again. These constant pressures reshaped survival strategies and pushed both Neanderthals and Homo sapiens to their limits. For Neanderthals, already less adaptable, the struggle became overwhelming. As the Ice Age reshaped the planet, only those able to evolve quickly and cooperate effectively would make it through the chaos. While Neanderthals dwindled, Homo sapiens began to thrive. The secret to their survival wasn't just physical strength, but adaptability. They developed more advanced tools, used fire strategically, and formed stronger social bonds that allowed them to hunt collaboratively and share knowledge across generations. This adaptability helped humans face diverse threats, from saber-toothed predators to unpredictable climates, and possibly even late-surviving dinosaur-like reptiles. Where Neanderthals remained tied to specific hunting strategies, modern humans experimented, innovated, and migrated further than any species before them. Groups learned to coordinate defenses against predators, create traps, and adapt diets to whatever was available, giving them an edge in nearly every environment. Over time, Homo sapiens expanded their range while Neanderthal populations shrank, eventually disappearing entirely. But survival didn't come without risks. Encounters with ancient predators, extreme weather, and scarce resources tested human resilience constantly. Each challenge humans overcame reshaped not only their future, but the future of the entire planet. The rise of Homo sapiens wasn't inevitable. It was earned, and every adaptation brought us one step closer to becoming the dominant species on Earth. The possibility that humans may have coexisted with dinosaur-like predators adds a fascinating twist to our understanding of evolution. It suggests that early survival strategies weren't just about competing with other humans, but also navigating ancient ecosystems still ruled by creatures from a forgotten world. These encounters may have forced Homo sapiens to innovate faster, building stronger shelters, creating better weapons, and coordinating defenses against apex predators. Some researchers believe that these events even shaped our earliest legends. Stories of giant reptiles, dragon-like creatures, and mysterious hunters passed down through generations could be echoes of real encounters, preserved through memory and culture. For Neanderthals, slower adaptation meant fewer chances to survive in regions where these predators existed. In contrast, modern humans used collaboration and creativity to turn threats into opportunities. Every confrontation with a predator sharpened human intelligence and strengthened their survival skills. Over time, these advantages allowed Homo sapiens to dominate ecosystems that once seemed impossible to control. If dinosaurs or their descendants truly survived into this period, they may have indirectly shaped what it means to be human today. By 40,000 years ago, the last Neanderthals vanished from the Earth, leaving Homo sapiens as the sole surviving branch of humanity. Whether dinosaurs or dinosaur-like reptiles played a role in this extinction remains a mystery, but the possibility adds depth to our understanding of evolution. Humans faced a world filled with predators, climate disasters, and constant survival challenges, yet they adapted and endured. This adaptability became our greatest strength, shaping civilizations and cultures thousands of years later. The legacy of this period reminds us that history is rarely simple. Every victory came with sacrifice, and every adaptation came from necessity. If ancient reptilian predators truly shared this planet with us just 40,000 years ago, their existence would have influenced where we lived, how we hunted, and even how we evolved. Our story is one of resilience, creativity, and survival against impossible odds. And it began here, in an age when humans fought to secure their place in a dangerous, untamed world. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe and join us for the next video, where we uncover more untold stories from humanity's past. Each episode takes us deeper into the mysteries of history, connecting us to the people and events that shaped our world today.